Here he comes. As you can see, pulling into the vertical. Now out to the right into a double corkscrew, leaving that reheat engine on all the time. Nathan's sustaining crushing three forces there as he's coming through, back to crowd. Now watch as he inverts the aircraft. Large amount of seagulls moving through the area. About 4,000 feet. Into a barrel roll. Now still in reheat, fully sustained. Oh geez, all the way around that turning. Watch as he comes back around. Watch the 5 aileron rolls. Time to get dizzy. And then he breaks away from the crowd. He's pulling about 6G in that turn. Full body G-suit helping him to complete the down. And into another corkscrew. Perfect weather for the flying today. Now he's going to reposition the aircraft and fly down the crowd line. Nathan's going to hold the aircraft in what we call knife edge. Great photo opportunity here before rolling the aircraft upside down inverted. Get your cameras ready. Nathan pitches up, rolls into knife edge, and then into inverted. Now going to push the aircraft away from the ground, this time holding about -3G, so that -3G is very, very uncomfortable, and an inverted climb up to 3,500, lying back at about 20 degrees, and that helps him dissipate the G-forces across his body. Now get ready for the slow speed. Nathan is heading towards us, pitching high alpha. If you've got binoculars, you'll see those flaperons at the front moving, and also his canards moving. Now it's minimum speed, and then watch as he powers the aircraft up, goes into full reheat at 52,000 pounds of thrust. Pushes the aircraft away. Double legger on road, and it goes into the half horizontal. Now watch as it pitches the aircraft back. There we go. Hesitation rolls. 3 times down. And now into a fast turn. Really putting on a sustained 9G turns, incredibly still managing to accelerate while pulling 9G. Nathan working extremely hard now. Straight down and into a barrel roll. While he's pulling that 9G, he's the same weight as a Formula 1 car. That's how much weight, it's like a Formula 1 car sitting on his chest.
see why I wouldn't want to talk over that. And as has been pointed out by a member of the FCC, Joe, it's actually 5 Merlins and 1 Griffin powered, because the Spitfire is the Mark 19, the photo reconnaissance version, and that had a Griffin engine, not a Merlin engine. It was updated, ending after a Mark 12 had a Griffin engine in it. Where would we be without the FCC and their years of knowledge? So as the aircraft position themselves to come back around, they're going to stay in this formation for a while. Then the 2 fighters will break from the bomber and do a tail chase amongst themselves. Then the bomber, the Lancaster, will come back in by itself. But for right now, let's soak up the atmosphere of these 1 Griffin, 5 Merlin engines. So the very distinctive Hurricane you see there in the all black, that is the last Hurricane that was ever built. It was about 14,533 built, and this one rolled off the Hawker production line in Langley and Bucks in July of 1944. And inscribed on the airframe is the last of the many. It's got it on its port and starboard side. Now, obviously, people knew this was an important aircraft, and they were very keen to make sure it didn't disappear. So Hawker purchased the aircraft back from the Air Ministry, and they kept it in storage at Langley. In 1950, the aircraft was entered into the King's Cup Air Race by Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret, and it was flown by none other than Group Captain Peter Townsend. And he achieved 2nd place in this aircraft. Now. Going out. And now. Behind the leading Hurricane is the Spitfire Mark 19 PM631. It's thought to be built back in Reading, was delivered to Southampton in May of '44. It was used for tests, although it did not see operational service. It pretty much represents the similar high altitude photo reconnaissance Spitfires which did. They were unarmed, of course. They could fly at 370 miles an hour. So the main armament was actually speed. They'd fly up to 40,000 feet. They had a fully pressurized cockpit and a range of about 1,500 miles. Could cover vast swathes of northern France, where they did amazing work preparing for the D-Day invasions. This is 203 Advanced Flying School, and there it was modified for meteorological work. She was flown by civilian pilots with the temperatures, humidity, and monitoring flight. That was based out of Hooton Park and Woodvale, and they regularly went up to 30,000 feet every day in this aircraft. In '57, PM631 was flown to Biggin Hill from Duxford. by World War II Fighter Ace Group Captain Jamie Rankin, and in formation with another flight of Mark 19s, which was PS-853 and PS-915 to form the historical aircraft flight, which later evolved into BBMF. So the fighters just letting know the Lancaster, they see them.
Right, that's the thing.
I hope you got that on video. Spitfire and a Hurricane rolling over the top with a Lancaster underneath. A beautiful sunny day in Blackpool. It could not be any better. Lancaster letting us know the speed, so the aircraft, when they come to catch up with him on the way back, will be able to match their speed. As I said earlier, this aircraft served with Flight Refueling Limited, and then it went on to Cranfield in 1954, where she was modified as a platform for testing experimental aerofoil sections. In April of '64, it was adopted by the Air Historical Branch for static display originally at the RAF Museum. She was flown to Henlow for storage to await the opening of the museum. And then in '65, the CEO of 44 Squadron, that was the first ever unit equipped with Lancasters, and at that time it was flying Vulcans, gained permission for 474 to be transferred to the care of the squadron. And after inspecting it, they said, wow, this is in really good condition. It's like new inside. And it was allowed to fly over there. It then got refurbished, joined the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight in 1973. Initially at Collishaw before the flight moved to Coningsby in '76, and still living there today, happily. PA 474 was officially adopted by the City of Lincoln in 1975, and permission was granted for the aircraft to display the coat of arms and the name of the city on the nose, which it always does. It does sometimes adjust the colour schemes that it wears, representing other aircraft, but the City of Lincoln always stays on the nose. PA 474 at the moment, painted on the port side as Lancaster Bill.
Right, there's excellent. Go. Clear. Clear.
So can you hear the fighter pilots calling out that they're clear? Obviously the bomber pilots can't see them because they're trailing behind underneath, so now they'll pop up beside them and get a line abreast. I cannot recommend interviews. You can also sign up to get a monthly interview, and they're entitled to free tours of BBMF's hangar by the BBMF feathers. So we can hear the team leader calling out, repositioning the aircraft behind him, and the Yak 52s of course have their smoke systems on. These smoke systems are performed by using the heat of the exhaust, and it is all fully biodegradable. So they'll stay in this Vic formation as they come back. Smoke on from the 52s, just holding that bank angle. Very distinctive shape. It looks a little bit like a harvest from that sort of angle, the wing anyway. So leading the team, and on the radio you hear it making the call. That's team leader Phil Hardesty, and Phil is based out in Duxford. So get your cameras ready as they come in, because we're going to have a break. The Yak 18 is going to depart, and we'll have a display from the 52s. So good camera shot coming up soon. Pop up and say, yes, the gear is now. So the Yak 18 and the Yak Trio tank, J6, they basically extended it a little bit, but I think the 52 is the way to go. And as I said, very popular with private pilots, and relatively cheap to operate. So if you want to get into aerobatics and the warbird scene, the Yak 52 is definitely something to look at. So you heard the call coming from the team leader in the Yak 18, that's Phil Hardesty, and it's his job to orchestrate the aircraft behind him. They won't change position or move out of position until he does that countdown with them. And now, obviously, they're beside him so you can see them, but when, especially they're underneath, tucked away like that, it's very important that they find, wait until they're called up. So he'll slide slightly to the right, and number 2 and number 3 will come up on his left and his right hand side. And once they get in position, they say all aboard, therefore they're good to go. So now they're coming back in the Vic formation. Let's listen to Alex call out the team. Go. Climbing. So the Yak 18 with Phil Hardesty at the controls, calling out the shots. Coming back around for their penultimate pass. the gentleman at the controls, John Hurley, he started actually flying with the Royal Air Force on Vulcan. And he flew cocktail, captain's tours. Then he was posted to Germany, where he was flying in Buccaneers. And that's where you trade off the height and the speed. You've got to make sure you've got enough speed going into those maneuvers, because as you can see, it's almost like it's hanging there at the top of it. You think, wow, is that going to slip out of that? But no, it just keeps it going. John, of course, very, very accomplished on this aircraft. After John's tour with the Hawk in Valley, he then joined BAE Systems and continued flying the Hawk. Cross control, smoke on. Now he levels the aircraft out. Back into side slip. Pitching the aircraft up now to climbing to his altitude of 200 feet. Little check on the controls and straight into the snap rolls. 2.5 snaps, inverted climbing downwards towards away from the crowd. And here he comes back from our left hand side, trading off the height for speed again. And into inverted. 4 point, nope, 2 point, oh, outside turn. Horrible. Negative G instead of positive G. Feel all the blood pushed up to the front. And there he goes, snap rolling the aircraft in the climb and coming out upside down, inverted, slowly coming down. Staying inverted, 5-point harness keeping him inside, and then snap rolling the aircraft around. The aircraft can roll about 400 degrees a second, so that's more than one revolution in a second. Watch now as it goes up into the inverted and just pushes over negative G at the top, staying upside down. Super uncomfortable. It just makes it look so easy. Richard is very, very fit. He spends a lot of time in the gym, and you have to build up this G tolerance so that your body can take it when you're going through these punishing maneuvers. And unlike Typhoon that we saw earlier that was pulling all that G, Richard does not have any G suit to assist him with it. So it's pure muscle wings, you'll notice that. And as you can see, it's paying off in spades. 3 full revolutions at the top. There's still snap rolling the aircraft in the vertical. Now watch it as he pulls the power back on the aircraft and just hangs in the air with the propeller, and then boot full of rudder, and then a wing over, and then another wing over underneath him, a double wing over as he comes back down. Other aerodynamics alterations that have been done to this aircraft include the control surfaces. So the ailerons, which give these roll, are normally on a pitch just on the bottom wing, but as you can see, as he snap rolls the aircraft around at the top and goes into a bit of a launch-evac, he has 2 sets of ailerons on the top wing and the bottom wing. Gives him very, very good roll authority. And there you go, again, that negative G push out, hugely power than it actually needs. It can accelerate in the vertical, and that just shows it. Smoke system working very well for Richard there as he fell back into his own. Now watch as the aircraft pitches up, rolling, then reverse the roll 3 times, and boot full of rudder at the top, another 3 reverse, and then pushing the aircraft upside down and pull. means that he can use his full upper body to wrestle those controls. And he's actually had an extension done on the pole, because the higher the control column is up, the more leverage it gives you. These aircraft are not pneumatic, there's no hydraulics on the control surfaces, so when he pulls on that stick, there's basically a piece of wire between the bottom of the stick and the control column. So when you're going fast, the forces need to actually move that stick. That's huge. So inverted dive, like you do, that's when you find the pen that you lost a couple of days ago. It just pops out there. The amount of things I found in aircraft when you turn them upside down, it's like, how did I get in there? Exactly. At the top, that's the torque from the engine, from the rotation of the propeller, spinning the aircraft. And he is now departing to our left, to Blackpool. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was Richard Goodwin in the pit, the muscle. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Raven at the 2025 Blackpool Airshow. So as I said, leading in the team was Simon Fitzgerald, he's number 2. Patrick Wilson, he's the newest member of the team. Patrick grew up in the backseat of aerobatic aircraft, so he's used to this. Raven 3 is Pete Wells. Raven 4 is Paul Farmers. Raven 5, Mark Southern. Raven 6 is Gerald Williams. And Raven 7 is Russ Eatwell. What a great name, Eatwell. Watch as they come back from the left. So we just heard the brake there called, so that means craft up into the vertical and do a mirror maneuver, rolling the aircraft at the top, and roll, focus, off, go, off, go, rolling, out, now. The aircraft powered by a light coaming. I'm letting it out. 104, focus on, go. Focus on, go. You can hear the call out from the team leader, making sure everybody's on board after that maneuver. And that leaves the crowd line. So with 5 and 6 heading off to our left, keep your eyes out for the other 4 aircraft. They come in from our left-hand side. And number 4 rotating around the main body, Paul Farmers, priced professionally as a chief pilot and SAO commander of the watch and rescue base at St. Athens in northern Wales. Fantastic photo opportunity coming up. Aircraft are going to spread towards us and then burst in all different directions. So as they fill the sky, you can hear the team leader calling out the brake And now they all have to rejoin again.
Break, go. Off, go. Off, go.
And unlike a lot of the their own maintenance, and it's purely a passion for them.
Move on, go. Come on, Chris. Put it. Go. Like off, go. Move over to Catalina.
So ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the Raven Cascade.
Let's go. 2, 3, 4.
.com, because you've got to put your name in the ballot to get up close. And you've only got till 10 a.m. tomorrow, so sign up quick. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look out to your right, the very distinctive shape of the PBY Catalina. So this aircraft, known as Miss Pickup, for obvious reasons, one of its many missions that the Catalina did was picking up downed pilots. Based out of Duxford, and it's a conglomerate of people that have come together to save this aircraft. Keep an eye on the wingtips. At the moment you can see they're nice and clean. A little bit later on, he's going to drop down the floats on either end of a massive wing on this aircraft. Ever built. There's more of these built than any other aircraft of its type. Over 3,280 aircraft in North America. Marine warfare, coastal patrol, convoy escorts, and as the name suggests with this aircraft, air-sea rescue. Of Bismarck, where it was finally sunk, and the sinking of numerous U-boats. You can see those floats have popped down now. There's used to stabilize the aircraft when it's landing on the sea, which it did very often. Unfortunately, this aircraft does not land on the sea anymore. It's fully capable of landing on the sea, but if you subjected that airframe to salt water, it would just hesitate, it would speed up its demise, and it takes a lot of cleaning to get all that salt water off after it's landed. So it will land on a lake, fresh water, but we don't see the Catalina, this one, particularly land on the water anymore. Hours out over the Atlantic, and Miss Pickup is definitely the most active, and she's the only Catalina flying regularly in Europe. In 2023, it was the aircraft's 80th birthday. She was built by the Canadian Vickers Company in Quebec for the Royal Canadian Air Force back in 1943. During World War II, the aircraft hunted enemy submarines along the coast of Western Canada. Post-war, it was used for Arctic survey work and also briefly as a freighter before joining search and rescue flights where it served until finally being sold in 1961. So it is a true warbird. She was transferred onto Canadian registration and then was converted to begin a long career as a water bomber. He fought a lot of fires.
Catalina Company.
So as you can see, the girls are actually upside down on the top of the wing, and you'll see them rotate very quickly as they start to get the right way up. These Boeing steermen to be heavily modified. Instead of the standard 220 horsepower engine, they have a 456, let's call it 460 horsepower engine. And watch on top as the girls come back in from the right. And as you can see, they are upside down. That is their leg waving in the air. They're grabbing onto the wire. Now keep an eye on the girls as they head out. Beautifully silhouetted. See they're upside down? Watch this. There they go. They just flipped around. They just moved all the way back to be the right side up. So that harness actually can rotate in any direction. (1940) Boeing steermen, as I said, striking red, white, blue liveries. On the next sequence. Get ready for the B break. Good photo opportunities. And as Kirsty and Emma right themselves around, flying the aircraft, as I said, Dave Barrell, he's the lead pilot. Over 5,500 hours, over 1,400 displays. And Brian Corns, he's number 2, 13,000 hours under his belt and over 500 displays. And then on top of the wing, the first aircraft is Kirsten Hopjoy. And then behind her is Emma Broadbent. Girls, as you can imagine, are super fit. They are in the gym all the time. They're down. And as you can see, Kirsten are in tonight, and you're going at about 100 miles an hour. Stick your head out the window of the car, and that's just your head. Imagine your whole body being exposed to 100 miles an hour. So both coming back on the B-axis. The ladies are now on the side. Again, staying on the side until they flip themselves around the right way. Emma is in her 4th year of wingwalking and is equally at home. Now, here come Dave and Brian, approaching each other from the left and the right. Punching forward and crossing over. I don't know if you saw it, but I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago now. There was a program on BBC One, and it was about 7 o'clock after the news. And it was a whole half hour behind the team, and they were following Kirsten around as well. And it was really, really good. So if you get a chance, have a look at that Wingwalkers. It's still on, I'm pretty sure it's still on iPlayer. I think it's called the Ultimate Wingwalkers. It's on BBC One iPlayer. So if you want to see what it's like with the TV. So get ready as they come rolling in. Now they're going to build up their speed, and the aircraft are going to roll with the aircraft, with the ladies on top. Watch, pitching up, and rolling upside down. Whoa. No way would I do that job. Keep the binoculars on the girls on the top of the wing. For all those men out there that bought binoculars and their wives give them grief about it. Get it, why do you need binoculars? You're an electrician. Now who's laughing? Keep an eye on the girls because you're going to see them unstrap themselves from the top of the aircraft and then move forward and sit on the top of the wing. So as we're talking now, they've unclipped themselves from the top harness and they've moved forward, and instead of standing or on their hands or sideways on that pole, once they come back around, I would love to be So watch as their final pass comes up. They're going to still head out towards sea and then turn gently to our right hand side. Kirsten Popjoy in the lead, Emma Broadbent behind her, and at the controls, Dave Barrell leading the team out. Amazing display. Thank you very much, and of course Brian Corns as well, bringing up the rear in the red. So, it was produced, built as a one-off back in 1986, and it has accumulated a little over 2,500 hours of life so far, and that's pretty good for an airframe like that. That's got a long life ahead of it. And as you can see, it's carrying about 2 100-litre fuel tanks on the inboard wing pilots, and that supplies the smoke system. On Captain North wheels in the summer months. So watch now as they go into the break. Ian Brett is flying number 2, on 30 as he's known. Did a lot of flying as a PPL and a glider pilot. Then he completed university, served as an all-air pilot for 30 years for the Royal Air Force. He was a tutor display pilot. So like I said, believe it or not, if you want to go flying in one of these, you actually can. These actual aircraft. There's a company called Jet Legends, part of Aero Legends. And they're the first operator to be given. You can fly as a single. As we see Ian following through. He still continues to develop his passion for civil aviation display flying. He's flying the Tornado. He completed his ATPL ground school and obtained his CPL. Then he got his flying instructor qualification. He was flying the Hawker Hunter as well, the mid-air squadron. And pitching up and heading out. to the left bill. Boring aircraft, and it's very comfortable inside as well. I'm sat inside it, there's loads of room, bubble canopy gives you great visibility, and it's even got a heater. Comfortable invented. So you can see the Rotax engine powering that propeller at the back of the aircraft, so it's what we call a pusher aircraft. It's not pulling the aircraft through the air, it's pushing it through the air. Flight speeds anywhere between 0 and 120 miles an hour. So that's a good cruising speed for this type of aircraft. And because you're enclosed as well, it's very aerodynamic. It's a comfortable way to get around the country. I could have done with it on Friday night when I was driving up here. It's going to be 7 hours on the M5 and the M6. And as you can see, responds very well to the rudder. Look at the tail rudder at the back. He's using his feet to get the aircraft certified by the CAA as late as 2011. But over 1,000 of these have been made and sold worldwide. And you know, like you live in a dream world where you say, one day I'll have my own airplane and I'll have my own airfield out the back of my house. Well, with this, you literally could. It's not massively expensive and it takes off in about 10 meters. So you don't get there with a bit of crazy flying. Clearly, no fly-by-wire system on board. And yeah, it was 1923 when they were invented. That was only 20 years after the Wright brothers, so it's a very, very early form of aviation. As a pusher aircraft, you've still got all that energy stored in the rotor blades because they're freewheeling. It's just rolling around there. It has a certain amount of speed built into it. So you just pitch the aircraft down, keep the airflow up over the rotor disc, and before you know it, safely touching down on the ground. Spiral incline. It has a decent climb rate as well, 1,200 feet per minute. And now we can see where it goes into the hover. He'll just point it into the wind and it just stops. Yesterday we had that like 30 knot wind, so it just hung there like a helicopter. I think today it's gusting about 10 if that. But you can see even in descent, there's no big jerky movement. It's a very controlled, you know, you can tell he's steering it all the way down. He's got more than enough lift. Was a trade name for the inventor of the aircraft. Nowadays they're more known as gyrocopters or gyroplanes. Obviously looked at the auto gyro and thought, but then of course he had to put a tail rotor blade in to counteract the torque coming from the rotor. So as I said, that propeller at the back is just pushing the aircraft forward through flight. And also you'll notice when he flies, see how the rotor blade is tilted back a bit? That's to get the air to come up and flow through it. You don't want it flowing over it, you want it flowing through it. So when he pitches the aircraft forward, you'll notice the rotor blade will be almost flat. There you go, you can help it. And exit stage left. Thank you very much, Peter. What a gentleman's carriage that is. John Hurl at the controls leading them. And you can see that classic red and white paint scheme on the leading aircraft. John Hurley at the controls. That is a proper Chipmunks powered aircraft. And the one behind it is what's called a super Chipmunk because it's got a light combing engine in it. And unfortunately, because of the loss of radio of one of those aircraft, they will not be able to display. So it's a quick hello and then goodbye for these aircraft. A little bit of a tail chase. And now he's pulling up, John's pulling the aircraft up, getting a little bit of height.
Again, on the ground we've got Private Joshua Oggy. He's going to be letting the smokes off on the ground so that when they do exit the aircraft, they know exactly the wind direction and the landing pattern. The second now you're going to see his canopy open. The next three members out the aircraft is our crew team. So sequentially they'll all pitch out the aircraft, trying to stay as close as they can together in the sky. What these crew are going to do in the sky is a canopy formation called a try-by-side. So they're all going to try and stack each other's canopies on top of each other. From there they're going to compress the canopies. As you can see now he's moving towards the back of his canopy. What this allows us to do is attach harnesses from each individual, strap ourselves together, direct ourselves onto the cross, and then from there we can downplane straight to a try-by-side. If we can put a big round of applause together, you can see now coming in first man, our team leader, he was our wing sitter today, Corporal Stephen Hanley. As you can see as well in the sky, we have Corporal Henry Mole. He's our big flag flyer. So the flag is actually 7,000 square foot. It has to be jumped on a tandem rig. And you can see he needs to stay upwind. It's really hard to control. Behind him, as you can see now as well, we've got our crew team and our cameraman following him behind. So our cameraman is Oliver Goff. The crew team is now going to direct the canopy formation towards the DZ. Next down, we've got Private Oliver Hobbs, so a big round of applause for our Blackpool flag flyer. He is now in his downwind. Turn his canopy slightly, he's going to pull in his front risers, gather as much speed as possible, okay, and land safely on the cross. Big round of applause, Private Oliver Hobbs. So if we keep looking to the sky now, we've still got 5 members in the air. We've got Henry Moll and our big flag. He's safely trying to keep this flag upwind as much as he can and drifting it towards the cross. On his right hand side, we've got the try-by-side, so we're just going to hold in this position. At the moment, they're strapped together by harnesses. In the centre, we've got Corporal Richard Kingston. On either side now, he's attached by the hip by a harness. And he's directing both crew pilots towards the centre. Once he's happy, he's then going to downplane all 3 canopies. So listen out for the commands. You'll hear him scream. On either side of him now, they're going to direct the centre canopy. And they're going to split around 300 feet. As soon as they split, perfect opportunity for some good photos. Big round of applause. They'll be splitting any moment now. Perfect. So we've got Richard Kingston, he's our stack pilot in the centre, landing in the middle. On the right hand side we've got Corporal Brian Mull, and on his left hand side we've got Corporal Cameron Clark. Our big flag flyer, Corporal Henry Mull. Obviously it's a little bit tougher landing on the sand with the big flag and all that weight. Last man down to the ground, we've got our cameraman, Corporal Oliver Goss.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Lift arriving at over 400 miles per hour, trailing our famous red, white and blue. Red one eases the team up, And he brings them slightly to the right, which means he's telling me they've started the show rolling. And you can see that amateur big battle formation, that famous V shape as Red 1 brings them around to the right. You'll now see Reds 6 and 7 collapse and sitting behind Red 1, and Reds 8 and 9 also move inwards as they form our world famous Diamond 9. Leading the team for his second year as team leader, Red 1, squad leader John Bond. Bondy's in his second year as team leader. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2012. Once again, from our right, in the world famous Diamond 9, it's the Red Arrow! On the right-hand side of Red 1 is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Rob Thomas. Rob is in his first year on the team. Uniquely, he was taken from training and made straight into an instructor on the Hawk Team Mark 1, before then completing his own training and joining the Typhoon Force, where he flew with 3 squadrons on a Ops over Iraq and Afghanistan, and then become an instructor on the Operational Conversion Unit 29 Squadron, all based at RAF Typhoon in Lincolnshire. You now see either side of that centre section move rearwards, as Reds 8 and 9 move left and right to form one of the widest shapes that we fly in 2025. In from the left, the smoke comes on, in the Swan. Reds 8 and 9 now sit behind Reds 2 and 3 to form one of the most iconic shapes in aviation history. The smoke comes on from the left-hand side. It is Concorde. On the left-hand side of that stage again is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Andrew Stewart, known as Macca. Macca is also in his first year on the team. He used to fly the AV-8B, it's a Harrier variant when he was on exchange with the United States Marine Corps, before then coming back and then joining the F-35B, the Lightning, the newest 5th generation fighter of the Royal Air Force, based at RAF Marham with 617, the Dambuster Squadron. So as I can see, you'll see Reds 2 and 3 move upwards, the rear section form the Delta Wing shape, because 2025 celebrates the 20th anniversary of the Royal Air Force Typhoon display team. You saw that aircraft fly earlier. It's a magnificent piece of aeroplane engineering, and from the right-hand side, in nod to those 20 years of Typhoon display team, from the right, Typhoon roll. Pilots in the Red Arrows, of course you've got Reds 1 through 9 displaying for you today. Myself, Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, former Hawk T2 qualified flying instructor, and this is my 4th and final year on the Red Arrows. And of course we are commanded by Wing Commander Adam Collins, Red 11, Officer Commanding Rafat, again a former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he's flown the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force, and it is his 3rd and final year on the Red Arrows. Reds 6 and 7 now split towards the rear. This is an opportunity to get your cameras ready as they come around from the left for the colourful Big Vixen. Come on, that particular manoeuvre, the aircraft was flying with the air brake out. That is a small door at the base of the aeroplane towards the rear. This has twofold effects. The first effect means the pilots fly with a higher throttle setting, thereby producing a hotter engine gas temperature, and it makes the smoke colours burn a lot more brightly. The The second effect is it means this airflow outside the back of the aeroplane is a lot more disturbed, and this makes the smoke billow a lot more personnel. Over 100 of them are the Red Arrows engineers, public relations, administrators and mechanics. They are known as the Blues, and there are a number of Blues today here at our public relations tent. So please pop along, say hello, find out what they do on the wider Royal Air Force, and of course their roles in the Red Arrows. All around the rest of the formation, we'll watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings them down the line.
A little bit right. Nah.
And as we start the second half, we started with the same way as 2024 because it was so popular. This is the 5-4 split. As we go into the second half, we now operate in two distinct sections. Off to the left-hand side, you've got Reds 1 through 5, known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5 from the children's books. Off to the right-hand side, you've got 6, 7, 8 and 9. They are known as Hannah, named after squadron leader Ray Hannah, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only team leader to lead the team for 4 consecutive years. He took the team from a 7 to a 9 and formed our world-famous Diamond 9. So, Enid from the left, Hannah from the right, for the colourful 5-4 cross. Keep your eye on Enid to our right-hand side as they now travel to our left. Red 4 starts to move in and sit behind Red 1 as Red 5 sits on trail on the rest of Enid. Number 5, roll go, and a board is caught by Red 5 as he rolls around the rest of the smoking Enid in the twister. Red 5 is Flight Lieutenant Dustin Wales, known as Dusty. Second year on the team, originally from Zimbabwe. He joined the Royal Air Force on the Typhoon on 11 Squadron, as well as an instructor on 29 Squadron, and also a test pilot on 41 Squadron, all based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. As Enid leaves to our right-hand side, look directly to your front. You're looking for the smoke trails of 6, 7, 8 and 9. 8 and 9 smoke red and blue. Get your cameras ready. It's the Hannah break. Red 6 and 8 to our left-hand side, Red 7 and 9 to our right-hand side. Hannah and the synchro pair are led by the synchro leader, that's Red 6 to our left, smoking white, squadron leader Tom Hansford. Tom is in his third and final year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified weapons instructor, which means he would teach all weapons technical information and tactics to the entire Typhoon force. Each pair will now turn back towards the display line. They'll dive down to approximately 100 feet above the sea. They have a closing speed of over 900 miles per hour as they perform the maneuver called the Hannah Pass. Red 8 and 9 go up and down in the roller coaster. Red 6 and 7 stay flat. Red 7 now off to our left. Red 6 off to our right side. Turn hard back towards each other. Pull up to 6G, turning back towards the display line as they turn the Hannah Pass into Cyclone. Red 9 is Flight 7, Ollie circling. Ollie is his third year on the team. He's a former Tornado GR4 pilot, former qualified flying shooter on the Hawk Team Mark II, and before they joined the Renault, he also flew the Strikemaster pair that you saw displaying earlier, based out of North Wales. Directly to your front, you can see the synchro pair running back in, Red 6 leading with Red 7 on our left-hand side in trail. It's that time. Get your cameras ready. This is the one you do not want to miss. The smoke comes on for the world famous Synchro Heart. And coming in from the top right to spear the heart is Red 8. Red 8 is Flight 10, Rich Walker. He's flown Harrier, he's flown Typhoon, and he's been a qualified flying shooter on the Hawk Team Mark II. And the Renaults would like to dedicate today's heart to all the countless volunteers that have worked so tirelessly over the weekend to make Blackpool Airshow such a wonderful success. Keep your eye on the synchro pair, they're turning.
Go.
As the synchro pair leaves to our rear, look to your left-hand side, you can see Enid joined by Red 8 and 9.
At time.
Each aircraft now pulling hard up to 6G, which means everything about them is weighing 6 times heavier than what we are on the airshow promenade. The red goes to blue, the blue goes to red, Red 7 now on our left hand side, Red 6 onto our right hand side as they pass, completing the manoeuvre called the circus. Leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky in a manoeuvre called the serpent. That's another good opportunity to see our famous red, white and blue. That is only capable due to the smoke pod under the belly of the aeroplane. That smoke pod is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke. Each of the colours have its own pilot button selectable on the pilot's control column. And in winter training, Red 6 and Red 1 come up with a smoke plan so we have the right colour smoke at the right time in the display. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 now moved up alongside Red 1. As Enid leaves to the front left, 45 coming in from the left, Red 6 and 9 from the right, 7 and 8. Red 6 and 9 roll inverted, 7 and 8 from the right hand side in one of our newest manoeuvres for 2025. This is Chainsaw. Red 6 and 9 inverted for up to 30 seconds, all the blood rushing to their head, they're working extremely hard. Conversely, now they turn the negative G into positive G, all the blood rushing from their head, trying to get into their feet, while they pull up to 6G, working extremely hard against their G pants to remain conscious for the rest of the show. In from the left hand side, Enid once again, the smoke comes on. 2 and 3, roll goes. 2 and 3, roll to the outside of the formation. Clear, go with Red 4 roll to the outside. It's one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots to master each year. This is rollbacks. As Enid leads to your right-hand side, look directly to your front once again. You're looking for the nose lights of Hannah twinkling in the distance. The smoke comes on from red 6. 8 and 9, red and blue, roll around the smoke of red 6. And for those at show centre, we can see 6, we can see 8, we can see 9. However, hiding in the smoke trail of red 6 is red 7 in the Tempest. Once again, red 6 to the left-hand side, red 7 off to the right-hand side. Each aircraft will pull up. So approximately 1,000 to 1,500 feet before coming back towards the display line for their final manoeuvre of the show. Each aircraft once again dive down to 100 feet. That close speed of over 900 miles per hour, each aircraft perform a barrel roll followed by a cross and inverted flight in a manoeuvre called the crossbow. As the synchro pair leads to our rear, look directly to your front. You're looking for reds 1 through 5. That's Enid once again, joined by reds 8 and 9. The smoke somewhere comes on. Get your cameras ready. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2025 Royal Air Force Aerobatics team. It's ready! Red 1 puts his smoke on, he'll gather the rest of the formation, take them back to Blackpool Airport, we'll refuel the aeroplane, and then we'll jump back in it to take them home, to arrive back at our home base, Orient, Waddington, Lincolnshire, around about 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. If you'd like any more information about the